Rucker Man.
Real takes over fake debates, authentic truth. Can't underestimate SB and Sean, breaking through the noise, serving real talk, the genuine choice. No pretense, no hidden schemes, just sports passion fueling dreams. From the field to the court, every play that's made. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up, hear the honest sound. Unfiltered sports all year round. Discussions pure, no masquerade. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up. Over fake debates. Real takes over fake debates. Real takes over fake debates.
And we are live as we talk about Sean Webb. Real takes over fake debates. It's Monday. Sean, what is going on, brother? How are you feeling?
Feeling good, SB. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Slightly just took me a nap before the show, but I'm waking up. I'm feeling good. How about you, man?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to this Monday night game and ready to talk some recap of week 3 and some NBA and looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to talk some NBA. We definitely got to talk some week 3 recap. It's a lot of things that have been going on. We got teams that are still undefeated. We have teams that did not look the same during this week. A lot of teams choked. Might have some quarterback change during this time. It said, salute SB and Sean. The title of the stream is funny. Sean, I don't know if you've seen the title of the stream, but I've been kind of feeling myself a little bit.
I just want to make that very clear to those who watch us and support us. I had nothing to do with the title of the stream. That's all SB. So send all the bullets and all the heat for ShaqBarnes.com if you can, because that's where it came from. It did not come from me.
I mean, it's not like I'm saying something crazy for this type of reaction. I think when we look at the numbers, when we look at the record, when we look how teams played, I mean, having him labeling him the best quarterback in the league is not me being a Charger fan. I think I'm speaking legit that he's in a conference this season. This season. Now, we talk about in general. Yeah, I'm wild. But we talk about this season so far. He's in the conversation. But
yes, sir. I think he's certainly in the conversation. He's playing well. You can't take that from him.
Oh, yeah, he is. Salute Knicks now. Salute Tiff. Yes, but we got a lot of things we got to get into, Sean. Let's get into NBA first. Then we got to talk about NFL Week 3. Also, you guys, you watching, make sure you guys like. If you're listening to, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe. First thing first, Sean, this was nothing that I was expecting to see on my news feed during this time. It's football season. But Houston Rockets point guard Fred VanVleet has suffered a torn ACL and will likely miss the whole season for the Houston Rockets. What's your reaction to this?
Obviously, from the Rockets' perspective, this is a devastating news. They were expecting, and they are expecting to be a team that's going to compete in the Western Conference to get out of the West and compete to win a championship. So certainly you understand anytime you lose your starting point guard, it's a major blow. The Rockets are very deep, though. They have a really good team. My expectation is that they'll be in the market for someone. It's not a vast free agent market, but obviously the first name that comes to mind is Russell Westbrook.
Potentially. If that was to happen, I would eat popcorn for that KD. It's still Russell Westbrook.
Well, I mean, I think they've buried the hatchet, right? So I don't think
allegedly.
Well, no, I mean, you've seen like publicly they played on all-star teams together. It's not, maybe it's And at the end of the day, you don't have to be best friends to be teammates. We've seen that happen in history.
That's true though. But Sean, we can bury the hatchet and be like, yes, we can go out to a party together. We can go hang together. We can watch football together. I don't want to work with you though.
Again, you've worked probably multiple places. SB, you didn't like everyone you worked with, I'm sure.
100%, 100%.
So, but it didn't stop you from doing the job. And ultimately, it's not even about a like. It's just about a mutual respect between those guys. And ultimately, again, it's about this would probably be their best chance to win a championship since being together in Oklahoma City. Obviously, KD won and was able to win championships in Golden State, but with the Warriors. But from my view, that's the first name that comes to mind. Again, a veteran guy. And again, you're not asking Russell Westbrook, if you sign Russell Westbrook at this point, you're not asking him to come in and be your lead starting guard or anything like that. More than likely, if they sign him, is they're asking him to come off the bench, because I would believe Reed Shepherd would probably be elevated. They spent the third pick in the draft a couple years ago on Reed Shepherd. I think they really believe in his upside as well. So, you're asking Russell Westbrook to come in and be kind of a guy who comes off the bench, but also kind of a guy who can help Reed Shepherd, really make, that transition. And, again, the Rockets have a deep team. They have a really good team. I think they're a team that's very much, again, still going to be in the hunt for the Western Conference Finals and trying to come out of the Western Conference. Obviously, OKC being the defending champs, and Denver, the way they've retooled, you kind of still think they're probably the three best teams. But this is a blow, but this is a part of the game. The Rockets could call the league office tomorrow and ask them to postpone all the games until Van Fleet comes back.
That ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. So ultimately, they'll figure it out. Ime Udoka and that coaching staff will figure it out. But again, my belief is that you'll see Reed Shepherd, move into the starting lineup, and obviously they'll sign a veteran, backup point guard to support him and to help him and to help that team.
I could definitely see that happening, but I don't see them signing Westbrook. I do see a backup point guard getting signed or somebody else. I can't necessarily name anybody outside of Westbrook right off the top of the head when I'm thinking of it at the point in time, because I just feel like KD don't want to play Westbrook. I do think they has buried the hatchet where they are good, but I still think like KD don't want to work with him. Now, would KD work with him if he have to? 100%. But also we got to remember that Westbrook does have history with the Houston Rockets, and I can't see the Rockets signing them back.
And again,
no, go ahead.
And I would say it's the difference trading for Russell Westbrook, who's making $48 million a season, versus signing Russell Westbrook to a vet minimum deal, right?
That is the difference. I'm not gonna lie. That is a difference.
So from my perspective, again, you're not asking Russell Westbrook to come in and be 2018 Russell Westbrook or 2020 Russell Westbrook. You're asking Russell Westbrook or anybody you sign at this point to, hey, we need you to come in and be a veteran presence for this young guard who, again, is going to be probably shifting into a bigger role with, the injury to Van Fleet. We just need you to be, a mentor, a voice in the ear, things like that. I was kind of looking at their roster earlier, just in terms of potential trades that they could make. I just didn't see, just based on their current roster, a trade they could make, to be honest. And the way I viewed it, and in all honesty, and I'm just being honest, it's just not a lot of trades out there they can make right now. Maybe January, February, maybe there's something they could do towards closer to the deadline. But right now, there's just not a lot of, moves made. And I think a lot of teams kind of want to see going into camp where their rosters are, going into camp before they make a major shakeup like that.
I think, John, if any move they're going to make, it's going to be during the season. I don't think we'll see the Fred VanVleet replacement anytime now. And if they do it now, I think it'll be like you clearly moving at a panic, at a worry. So I think they will wait during the season. Let's see what, like you said, what Reed Shepherd do, and get it right. Johnny said, "Bang bang, 9 the game, 3-0." Oh, we gonna talk about these 3-0 teams too, shall we? We gonna talk about these 3-0. Balled up. But next on the list, and it's funny that this topic is next because Johnny also runs Goat James Kingdom, who is go support that channel. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you subscribe to that channel because we got to talk about who Johnny Goat is, LeBron James. And Byron Scott thinks LeBron James does not deserve a statue in LA. And I'm going to read the quote verbatim. He said, I think if he gets another one, which he's referring to a ring, then he has a chance to get a statue. Scott told TMZ. But right now, if you look at the players that have a statue in front of the crypto.com arena, these are long lifers. They've been with the Lakers for almost their entire career, and they have multiple championships. I think the only one who does it is probably Jerry West. Does LeBron James deserve a statue for the Los Angeles Lakers, Sean? And for a record, he said majority. It's hard to compare LeBron James' majority of career because he played 23 years, but a good portion of his career he has been on the Lakers. But I think this year making what 8 years with the Lakers now. Yeah, so that's a good portion of his career. Only one that's short lived is Miami, but Cleveland is like the first half of it, and then the Lakers is really the second half of it. To be honest with you. So, does LeBron James deserve a statue?
So, if we're looking at this purely by the standard which the Lakers have set, no. If you're looking at this purely by the Lakers standard, this isn't about LeBron James's career. We know what LeBron James's career has been. This is just purely about the standard the Lakers have set. And you look at some great Lakers who don't have statues. Will Chamberlain doesn't have a statue. James Worthy doesn't have a statue.
He doesn't.
So Pat Riley's about to get a statue, and I will believe, and Kobe's going to get that third statue here soon. And then I would believe Phil Jackson would probably be in that conversation, given what he did as a coach there. Mm-hmm. So it's just based purely on the Lakers standard. And when you look at the Lakers standard, I would say no, it's not a lot. Now, again, I think to Byron Scott's point, if the Lakers win another ring with LeBron, I think we're having a different conversation. Okay. I think you're having a different conversation. But just purely based on the Lakers standard, I would say no, it's not about that. And again, I think the deserve part is interesting, but I would say it's not, it's not a lock, and it's definitely based on, how they do things. I don't think he's going to get one out there. His jersey getting retired, that's not even a question. But the statue for the Lakers standard is a different animal in my view.
For me, it's two-way answering this question. Do I think he will get a statue? 100%, of course, because it's just as much as the Laker fandom and the Laker try to sell this prestige that this championship prestige organization is championship or bust type organization, which is true to an extent, but you're still Hollywood and you want that attention. So 100%, Sean, LeBron James will get a statue in LA just off the namesake value, because you have a guy who's the all-time leading scorer. You have a guy who's one of the greatest players to play for 20 plus years. He got one of the most popular player ever since Michael Jordan. You think the Lakers are not going to get a statue of him just to make money off that? You'll be crazy. Now,
how do they make money off of that?
It's LeBron James. You're gonna make money off that. People just come up there, go to the game, get more attention, and you gonna make more money if LeBron James. Even if you're the Lakers, Sean, I'm being real with you. You're gonna make more money if LeBron James' name is attached to you. Even with Michael Jordan, the Wizards' probably best years of making money was when Michael Jordan was attached to it. If they would have gave Michael Jordan a statue outside the Wizards Stadium, even if he didn't deserve it, they would have made more money because people would just either go to the stadium just to take a picture of the Jordan Stadium, or go to the game just to be a part of the Jordan Stadium. And I get LA got Shaq, got Kobe, got Magic. LeBron James will add another dynamic to that because he has his own different into your fan base. You have seen how LeBron James fans are. It's different. That's the only thing I'm saying. From his fandom, his LeBron James fandom is just as big as the Lakers as a franchise fandom. And that's not crazy to say. Like LeBron James, you think it'd be crazy. LeBron James fan base is just as big as the Lakers fan base as an organization. And tell me I'm wrong. I'm not. I'm telling you, I am not wrong. I have seen this verbatim. They are that big. Because you got to think about it. You got the Cleveland people mixed with the Miami people, mixed with the LA people who rock with LeBron, which is the LA people is this starting. But Miami and Cleveland, that fan base. Then you got the regional from Chicago, New York, in anywhere in the United States, plus the overseas fan base. LeBron James fan base is just as big as the Lakers fan base. Now, I said just as big as the Lakers, not more. Any other organization, I'll argue that LeBron James fan base is bigger. I think only fan base of the team organization is bigger than LeBron is probably like the Knicks, Lakers. And that might really be it. I think it's more LeBron fans than Chicago Bulls fans. I think it's more LeBron fans than Miami Heat fans. I think it's more LeBron fans than Sacramento Kings fans, OKC fans. It's just what it is, Sean. Because people, it's just what it is, Sean. I'm being honest with you about it.
I mean, I don't have any empirical data to, refute what you're saying. So I'm not going to argue that point.
LeBron James has more followers than the NBA on Instagram.
I understand that piece of it. I'm just talking about from the pure Lakers standard of statues. For me, LeBron is Wilt.
He is. He is.
Right.
He is.
Wilt,
you're not wrong with that.
Yeah, Wilt doesn't have a statue. So again, I think there are guys I would think about if you're going to do a statue that would probably be higher on the list than LeBron, who don't currently have a statue. Again, I mentioned Wilt. I mentioned James Worthy. Pat Riley's going to get a statue next year there. Phil Jackson, I think, would be, again, probably a little high on the priority list. I think if those guys get taken care of in terms of statues, then I think the LeBron conversation is probably a lot more substantiated. But today, I would say just based on their standard, no.
No, Sean. I can agree because with my basketball mindset, do I think he would get one? Actually, the crazy part about it is, I'm being real about this, Sean. Even my basketball mindset think he should get one because he broke the record, the scoring record in the Lakers jersey, and he won a championship for the Lakers. So I think he should get it. But even let's just play devil's advocate. Even if I was to argue, like, you know what? I agree with you. He doesn't deserve one because you had the Lakers standard. He's Wilt. He's 10 times more popular than Wilt Chamberlain in today's era. So I think they can naturally gonna do it. Now, if they say if LeBron retire this year and they do it by 2030, I can see it happening. But if they wait after 2030 and like LeBron James kind of like sizzle down, I maybe don't see it happen. But I think if LeBron James was to retire 2025, by 2030, he'll have a statue. It's just I just think of his namesake. His name has so much weight, Sean, that I think he's going to get one.
Okay.
That's the only thing with me. I just think because he way too much. It ain't like the same people, right? It's Jenny. LeBron got in trouble for sweetness.
She ain't running much of nothing.
Oh, well, no more. No more. Not gonna say on the tape, but I'm just saying, if Jenny got to suggest LeBron getting that statue, LeBron got in trouble for over there trying to get that. Over there trying to get that contract. And then hold on, wait, that's off subject. Did you see a clip? If not, I will send it to you after the show. LeBron was on a complex with Speedy. And Speedy, shout out to Speedy and Complex because he's asking actually all the questions people want to ask, like how you and Drake are. But he also asked him about the famous picture over the conversation. And LeBron said, did you see what LeBron said? What he said?
Yes.
He said he watched this man a fool. And I said, I see why you got in trouble because he might get in trouble again for rebutting what he said in the conversation. He said he walked up to Jenny Buss and the other lady there. It was Kurt Rambert's wife. He was like, first of all, Happy National Women's Day, and then got the yap. And I said, oh my God, no wonder why you was in trouble. Why would you come out and say this, LeBron? I wouldn't even say nothing. So if LeBron back in the doghouse again, I wouldn't be surprised. But he is hilarious, by the way. LeBron funny, bro. To walk, but I know why he was doing it. LeBron was trying to get that other contract. But wifey ain't going for that. Wifey just figured that you on TV, you in other women's faces, she ain't trying to hit. Because if I do the same thing with my girl, no matter if I'm trying to get this bread or not, all she see is me on TV and other women's faces. And you go get in trouble. No matter what. You can be like, but I'm trying to get this content. Wifey ain't trying to hit. That just is what it is. But let me know what you guys think. Does LeBron James deserve a statue in LA? Let us know. But Sean, we got to go through this NFL Week 3 recap because a lot of things have happened during Week 3. And type of the NFL, look up this record because we do got a game tonight, Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens. We do got our picks of the week. And I think tonight's game does matter, correct? Tonight game does matter because what was the other two games? We're going to get into the picks of the weeks, but I want to talk about the two games. We picked the 49ers and the Cardinals, and what was the other game that we picked?
Tonight's game.
Oh, so that's it. So either we tie or
you win.
Or you win. Ooh, okay. Anyway, I gotta make sure we do 3 because now we should have tied. I should have just with my first man. I would have won,
It's fine.
It happens. But a lot of things did happen during this Week 3. I'm gonna be real with you guys. One of the things we gonna get into this game at some point. Everybody know Jalen Hurts is my favorite quarterback. But at some platforms like Instagram and TikTok, I am labeled a Jalen Hurts hater because they've seen clips of our channel.
Deservedly.
I wouldn't say deservedly. Deservedly is strong. Deservedly is strong. So I'm gonna just get this out the way now. We're gonna knock this out early. So I checked the Eagles was down 20 to like 3-20-7. Offense looked at garbage. I texted Sean. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to talk about this. This Eagle offense is terrible. How you not using A.J. Brown? Jalen Hurts might be on fraud watch. He ain't top 5. Text Sean that, and literally they ran off right after the text message, Sean. I literally said that's if I would have just shut up, I would have had my moment today, but I had to say it too early. I was wrong. I mean, I'm 100% say this now. I'm gonna say it on air. I was wrong. I was wrong for down Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, you top 10, not top 5. You top 10. You the guy. Don't give me that look, Sean. Don't give me that look. I see the look. So people listening, I see the look. Sean doing a funny look for everybody who just listened. Jalen Hurts, I was wrong and I apologize. That's all I'm gonna say. But we could go to that Week 3 first. I just want to get it out the way. How wrong? Go ahead, Sean. You can do your dance on me. How wrong was I about the Eagle and Jalen Hurts?
No, I'm not gonna say you were wrong. Two things. Well, wrong is relative, but two things that stood out to me yesterday in that game in particular. One, when the Eagles decided, and I'm speaking more about the coaching and the play calling. Kevin Patullo, I'm talking to you. When you decide not to coach, when you decide to stop coaching not to lose and calling the game not to lose, and your offense show why it's one of the most explosive offenses in the league. It was very clear the Rams had a game plan, and the game plan was the guy who got 560-plus yards from scrimmage in the last 2 games we played against them was not going to do that yesterday. So the Eagles needed to adjust. They needed to open it up. And it started with, obviously, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown having a Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown game that we know they can have at any given moment. Devontae Smith had 8 catches for 60 yards. Dallas Goedert had a touchdown. They opened it up. I think that was the first thing. And then the second thing was defensively, they didn't allow a point for 29 minutes after the Rams jumped out. So you have to give some credit to that Eagles defense as well. And then those two big guys in the middle of that defensive line, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, who was probably the hero of the game yesterday. Well, not probably.
He was.
He and Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, I thought, were the heroes of the game yesterday for them. But they're so dominant in the middle of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
When they're playing like that, that's a tough team to beat. Period. And taking nothing away from the Rams probably felt shell shocked after the game, things of that nature. But that tandem is a problem. And I was trying to think back, and I even talked to him when the Eagles fan yesterday, and I was trying to think historically the last time we saw a tandem, defensive tackle tandem, that dominant together. And the first guys that came to mind, a little bit of a throwback, was the Jaguars had John Henderson and Marcus Stroud. And those guys were monsters. And they were monsters. And and not all that dissimilar to Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. For me, SB, that was really what stood out in the game. Other games, obviously, some wild finishes. It was I went out to watch the games with a buddy of mine, and so literally you have the end of the Eagles game, then you have the end of the Browns-Packers game, the way that game ended. Then the Jets-Buccaneers game went, Jets block a field goal, take it back for a touchdown. The Bears or the Bucs drive down the field and win another game yet late in the game on a last-second field goal. Like, it was just a wild day yesterday. And then the late afternoon games, the Chargers game, obviously that was a bit of a battle with the Broncos. The 49ers-Cardinals game came down to a last-second field goal. The Cowboys-Bears game, Caleb Williams looked tremendous yesterday. That Bears offense looked tremendous yesterday. So it was just a wild Sunday, a lot of unpredictable, games. Again, didn't have the Packers losing to the Browns, but it happens.
We gonna say that too, because I saved two topics for real takes on Facebook pages that I didn't tell you because I wanted your natural reaction. So say it. I got two. One obviously got spoiled because of the title, because I genuinely wanted your natural reaction where I didn't show it to you during the pre-show because I want your natural reaction.
Sure.
But one is the title, so that the title was spoiled. But I do have one. We gonna. You kind of like you. I'm gonna give you a hint that you hinted on it with the Packers losing. So that's the only thing I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
But we do got to get into the injury bug. The injury bug is here, and it crawled up a couple of teams. One, how bad is this injury bug rating to 1 through 10? You know how we do the injury bug all the time. Cowboys, CD Lamb to miss 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. How bad is this for the Cowboys?
I'm going to say a 6, maybe a 7, just because obviously he'll be back at some point. Certainly, CD Lamb, one of the best receivers in the league, can't take that away from him. But I think offensively, they'll figure out a way to adjust. Obviously, Pickens will probably take on a bigger role. They found some things yesterday with Kevontae Turpin as well in the passing game. Ferguson, will I think be a bigger part of the passing game. They found a little something yesterday in the run game, as well. So I think the Cowboys can manage without him, but obviously, you want to get him back, as soon as he's healthy. So I'm going to say 6, 7, but not a panic because again he'll be back, soon.
For me, I have to agree. I go like 5 to 6. Because you still got George Pickens, and the offense is not really what my concern is when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. It's that defense. That defense is got to be. They might end the year bottom 5. How bad this defense is. They're on pace to work at that. So CD Lamb being out, it's not going to hurt just as bad as the defense is. It's almost like, Sean, to me, it's just like if they just had this elite pass rusher, a guy at the linebacker position who could just get back to that quarterback. Oh, wait a minute. The Cowboys had that. They traded him for an OD tackle and some picks. That's Cowboys-esque. That's 100% Cowboys has to do.
Well, and I'll say this, SB. I think they've given up 92 points the first 3 games of the season, which is like the third most in their team history.
It's bad.
It's bad, and nobody. And I know they signed Jadeveon Clowney last week, and I'm sure eventually they'll get him ready to play. But there's not a lot of things walking through that door that are going to fix that defense. And as much as we want to talk about them trading Micah Parsons, and again, not taking anything away from that, to me, they've never really adequately replaced Dan Quinn. Ever since Dan Quinn went to Washington, that defense has struggled.
That's true.
And so I think that's a part of it, as well. And and I heard kind of post game and them asking Jera about them being a playoff team. And it's like, why are we even talking about that? You're 1-2, and you got the Packers coming in on Sunday Night Football, who are coming off of a unexpected loss on their end, so they're going to be ticked off. So that should be the last thing on the Cowboys' mind right now. To your point, figure out how to fix this defense and at least be competent enough defensively that your offense doesn't feel like they have to score every single time.
Which they do.
And to be frank, if Brandon Aubrey doesn't, hit those kicks last week, we might be talking about a Cowboys team that's winless to start the season. So, it's thank goodness they got Brandon Aubrey, and for my fantasy team, thank goodness for that as well. But yeah,
we ain't gonna talk about who my fantasy team. Tua turning with Lord my quarterback. Well, I digress. Next up on the injury bug list is 49ers star Nick Bosa will miss the rest of the season, 2025, after suffering a torn ACL. And I said this before the show when we was going through the show rundown, Sean. The 49ers missed a beat. The year that they made the Super Bowl was their chance. So for all you 49ers fans, all you 49ers hopefuls who's watching us right now, you're done. Your window, your opportunity is closed. Christian McCaffrey is not going to look that good again. Nick Bosa is not going to be that healthy again. That defense is not going to look as good as it did again. You paid Brock Purdy. You're not going to have that much talent on your team no more. It's over with. And coming from a guy who his favorite team was the Chargers, who had a Bosa on that team, I can tell you, once them Bosa bones start, and what I'm saying, I don't want to wish, not going to wood, I don't want to wish this on nobody, but once them Bosa start getting a little bit of an age, they get injured a lot. And Sean, to tell you, I defended Joey Bosa to the death, and he got hurt every year. It's the reason why he's not on charge no. That's just it. I just think you got the best version of Nick Bosa you're gonna get. I can't see another full healthy season of Nick Bosa. So no Nick Bosa on defense. You lost everybody on offense. You lost other pieces with Brock Purdy contract. Sorry to tell you this, 49ers, you're done. And I'm putting this Nick Bosa injury on a level of a 9-10. Not personally, if it was just personally only for him, I would just say like 6. But him getting injured is just a sharp taste of reality. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. So I'm making a 9-10 to make 49ers fans realize that, yeah, we not really competing. That's it. That's just me.
You lose a defensive player of the year, former defensive player of the year in your lineup. And again, this was a young defense that was kind of retooling with some young guys that they've obviously drafted and are trying to develop. You lose Bosa, that's a big loss. Certainly, I think they've got some talent, but again, that's a major loss. And to the comment, Garrison's comment about the Cardinals blew that game yesterday. The Cardinals absolutely blew that game yesterday. I picked the Cardinals to win. I'm very, very disgusted. That said, they got a big game on Thursday night this week against Seattle at home. We'll see what happens. But anyway, no, it's a major loss. And the last time Bosa missed, this many games was in 2020. He only played 2 games, and the Niners ended up going 6-10 that season. So it's a big, big loss. Again, not the same team from 5 years ago, but they were the previous year in the Super Bowl, and they end up falling to 6-10, largely in part because of some of the injuries they had and they dealt with. So it's a big loss. And
It's
again,
a big loss.
you know, you don't replace a guy like that just with a guy off the street, you know.
No, you
but,
can't.
You know, but now we'll say it helps that they've started the season 3-0. But just even looking in that division in the NFC West, that's going to be a tough division this year, top to bottom. Every team in that division is above 500.
Yes.
So you don't have a lot of room for error, even though they're 3-0. Every other team in the division is 2-1. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, it's a tough loss.
No, that definitely was a tough loss for Cardinals fans, but not for me because I picked the 49ers for the pick of the week, but we're going to definitely get to that. Speaking of my Chargers, though, shout out to my Chargers. And speaking of the tight division, Justin Herbert is the best quarterback in the NFL currently right now. Yes, he is, but we're going to get to that in a second. Najee Harrison is out for the season with a torn Achilles. Is this me as a Chargers fan, is this a hit? Yes, because of the style of play that Harbaugh like to play, like to run the ball. But honestly, he's been letting Justin Herbert sling that thing. I'm gonna be real. He been letting Justin Herbert sling that thing. Only positive is there's no positive somebody getting hurt. So let me say that because somebody might take it out of context. But I'm saying like it's a positive that somebody got hurt. There's no true positives about somebody getting hurt. But the cause and effect of him is that Omari Hampton is going to get more time in the ball. It's Omari time, and Omari is our guy. And I like everything about this kid. He showed glimpses, Sean. I see it. Once he really get a better understanding of Omari Hampton, it's going to be great. And now he's getting more time to be out there because Najee is out. Sucks to have Najee because I would like to still have Najee because I wouldn't. Now we pretty much throwing Omari Hampton to the wolves now. And now it's like you the guy. You got to show us you the guy. But instead of like splitting reps with a vet and learning along the way, and then next year we can be like take off. But and then how the league is set up, you rather run 2 split backs anyway. But now since Najee is hurt, Omari Hampton is full throttle. This is the number one guy. But so for me, I get it's a fact. But how about you, Sean?
Well, obviously, you mentioned they have Omarion Hampton who will be stepping in. You have Hassan Haskins who's behind him. Again, my guess is the Chargers will be signing a veteran running back, off the street or making a trade for a running back because, again, you want at least, I think, a veteran guy in that room. It stinks to Najee Harris, obviously spent many years playing in Pittsburgh and now, first year in L.A. It stinks, but I think the Chargers will manage. Big thing is, again, get Hampton ready to ramp up. You spent a first-round pick on him for a reason because he's that talented. But also, again, I think it's important for them to find a veteran running back in the market, and I would imagine they'll sign someone this week.
I have to wait and see. But let us know how y'all guys feel about the biggest injuries that's going on through the season. I think the biggest one so far is probably Nick Bosa for me. Now, Sean, Giants. 0-3. Dayball is not ruling out a quarterback change. He said, evaluating everything to start Jackson Dart over Russell Wilson, which people has been saying, but he has been denying this for the longest. Right now, Russell Wilson in the last 3 games, he has a 59% completion rate. He got 778 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a 78.5 quarterback rate. The first game he played, he didn't throw a touchdown or a interception, 168 yards against Commanders. The Cowboys game, that's where he showed out, went 3-1, got 450 yards, 1-2-3 quarterback rating, 73 completion rate. Then he played against the Chiefs, look god awful. 56% completion rate, 160, 0 touchdowns, 2 interception, 4.3.8 quarterback rating. And the next couple of games, I'm just evaluating everything out, is Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos. This is the next 4. Do you believe it's time to change quarterbacks now, or you should let the season go on? And Jackson Dart, I feel like if you really decide to change quarterbacks, Why not Jameis Winston? That's just me. If it's like this game. But Sean, do you think it's time to change quarterbacks or not?
I think it's only time to change quarterbacks if they think Jackson Dart is ready to play right now. But again, to your point, SB, I'm not sure I want to throw Jackson Dart out against that Chargers defense for his first game. If I'm going to make the change, it may be mid-game. You may have a quick leash on Russell. But I think if you to start Jackson Dart, I think it would make sense for them to start him in Week 5 at New Orleans. Given how the Saints defense has played, particularly the last game and a half in particular. So that would be my belief. Now, again, they have a package of plays for Jackson Dart. They had a package of plays for him last night. I think they expand that this week, even if they don't start him. And again, I think you have Russ on a quick hook if it's looking like it did on Sunday night and like it did that first week in Washington, then yeah, you may go to the quick hook. But I would not want to start Jackson Dart against that Chargers defense this week. It's I don't want to mess with the kid. I want to give him every opportunity to have some success against a defense that's not the Chargers or at that level. So I would think Week 5 would make the most sense if he's ready. And that's the other piece of it. I think everybody's looking at how Russ has played. That's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation is Jackson Dart ready? And I think, again, now you start looking towards getting him ready and saying, okay, we may not do it this week, but Week 5 in New Orleans, we'll make him the starter. And Russ could have another game this week against Chargers like he did against Dallas. I'm still and again, assuming the Giants lose, because again, I don't think anybody's picking the Giants in that game. I would think Jackson Dart would start Week 5 in New Orleans.
Of course not. Nobody's picking the Giants. You will not be a smart man if you pick the Giants. For me, I think I have to agree. You start Jackson Dart against the Saints. That's the easiest game where you could possibly get him going, where he can look as great. If you don't start him against the Saints, because right after that is a tough games though. Either way it goes. So if you say like you start him against the Saints, and he's your starter. Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, 49ers, Bears, Packers. That's still a tough back-to-back after that. So he can't. It's a tough schedule for you. I would just say if all else fails, I would start him against the 49ers and then let him finish the season out. Or wait the whole season and start him against the Raiders for the last 2 games of the season. But if you're really looking for a quarterback change, I would definitely think about starting Famous Jameis. That's why Famous Jameis is there. Just in case Russell Wilson looked as bad as he did, which he is, I would start Famous Jameis. Because at least one thing with Famous Jameis, he going to put up the numbers. Now, he might put up interceptions, but he going to put up the numbers. He going to bring some explosion to the offense. Every game I have seen Jameis Winston, he's going to make a play. And I feel like that's what the Giants are really missing, just a quarterback to make a play, a splash. That's what I'm missing on the offense side. The defense is young. It's still like they figured it out. They're going to be good. They just need a quarterback to come in and make a splash. If you're looking for a vet, because I just think throwing Jackson Dart out there will be bad for his confidence. Okay, you throw him out here against the Saints. He looked great. Ooh, Jackson Dart's our future. And then he go see the Eagles. Smack. He's going to get embarrassed. Then he go see the Broncos. Smack.
Well,
He's going to get embarrassed.
Well, here's the problem.
It's going to be bad, Sean.
And I don't want to make this totally about the quarterbacks because I understand that's the NFL and that's how we talk about these teams. The Giants aren't likely to beat the Eagles or these other teams outside of the Saints anyway. So from my perspective is you start Jackson Dart against the Saints and you say, hey, he's going to be our starter for the rest of the season. This is going to be a great experience for him. And again, I'm looking at just using last year as an example, Drake May. When Drake May came in, they weren't expecting to play Drake May. They played Drake May. He got good experience. Again, some game experience. There were some ups and downs. There were some bumps and bruises because that's the nature of it. But you really want to say, hey, listen, this is our guy for our future, and we want him to get some experience. So going into next season, he's got some starting experience under his belt. He's got some game experience under his belt. And you can say, okay, new coaching staff, or if you keep Dayball, which again, I don't know why you would, but new coaching staff, you got this established guy who's got some talent and has got some experience. Now we need you to come in and build it around him and Malik Neighbors and, some of our other pieces. But, we'll see.
We have to wait and see. Yeah, Todd said Dayball gotta go. He said Dayball gotta go, Todd. She said Knicks now said the Giants would be 2-1 if they had a serviceable quarterback. I mean, you got Jameis Winston. I'm just saying.
Well, and again, I don't want to put it all on the quarterback, right? I think there's been some issues the first 3 games with the offensive line. I thought they played pretty well last night, all things considered, especially getting Andrew Thomas back. But to me, the big issue is one, there was no Neighbors. I think had 1 catch for 4 yards last night. That's unacceptable. I know when Tracy went out, the game got a little different, but Scatterbo came in and gave them some good production. But even at one point, Scatterbo had more yards than the entire Giants offense combined. Yeah. That's a problem. So to that, I do think there's some things that, again, if Dayball is supposed to be this quote-unquote offensive genius, why is this happening when you're supposed to be this offensive genius? Oh, yeah, you're an offensive genius because you had Josh Allen in Buffalo. So, but different conversation. We can move forward.
All right, we do got a game that's coming on tonight, Sean. It's like Lions versus Ravens. It's getting ready to get started like the next 10, 15 minutes. We do got a preview to that. But we have to do our normal segment that you guys also love. But I might have to make like a little thing for like I did the picks of the week. Real take or overreaction. First up on the list, we got multiple teams. NFL 3-0 teams. The NFL 3-0 teams are now, is we overreacting, saying that they legit, or they just 3-0 likely 3-0? We got the Bucks, the Chargers, the Colts, the 49ers. When I say they legit, you're 3-0, that means you're contending for a championship. So if you want to go a deep dive, I can say contender or not, overreacting, saying they contender, let me know. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Real take that they contender or overreaction?
I'm going to say overreaction with an asterisk.
Okay.
They've had to come back and win games very late. They've had some games they could, as they're 3-0, and again, the record is the record, but they could easily be 0-3 because of how some of their games have played out late. They could be 1-2. They could be 2-1. I'm going to say overreaction with an asterisk. Ask me that question next week after they play the Eagles.
Okay. For me, the Bucks is a real take as a contender. My asterisk is that they are a dark horse. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win a division. I had them win a division for good reason, and it's looking like my prediction is going to be right. The Bucks are a team where nobody in the NFC will want to play. First round, second round, I wouldn't want to play the Buccaneers because their defense is solid. They got a quarterback who's a vet enough that has been in many games to know how to win games. They have a great receiving core. They have a solid bet. They have everything you need. Now, is everything on their team elite? 100% not. But they just that dark horse team where you just do not want to see them. So I think it's a real take calling them a contender for me. I'm going to save the second one. We're going to save a certain team for last for obvious reason if you watch the show. Colts, real take or overreaction with them being 3-0 and they are contenders?
Overreaction.
Why?
They beat 2. The 3 teams they beat have combined 1 win. Let's see them again. They got to go to Los Angeles next week and play the Rams. Let's see where they are right now. And again, I know a lot of people were talking about Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has played really well. The key has been Jonathan Taylor has been resurgent this season for that offense. And again, have to give the Colts credit. they're using Daniel Jones's legs on rollouts. He was 7 for 7 yesterday on rollouts. So they're using Daniel Jones' ability to get outside the pocket and make plays with his arm. But I'm going to say overreaction. We'll see what they do when they go to Los Angeles against the Rams.
It's 100% an overreaction with me calling them contenders. Now, if we just talking about them winning their division, because it's another team we're going to talk about, and a second too in that division side that ain't really been looking the thing. But yes, as real take of winning the division, contenders, no way. They're gonna make the playoffs and get whooped. The Daniel Jones is still their quarterback. Yes, he looked better than what they is that he has been, but like you said, you alluded to, Sean, they haven't really played nobody. And honestly, when I'm watching the Colts, have I watched a Colts game fooling through every second? No, but I was flicking through watching these games. I really have been impressed. It's just been more shocking for us as fans, be like, whoa, Daniel Jones actually can play quarterback a little bit. That's all it is. He looked like an average quarterback to me. That's how I took it when everybody just shocked that Daniel Jones looked okay. It ain't like he looked elite. He looked okay. He looked good. Okay, that's good.
And can we just give some credit? Because Daniel Jones made a smart decision, I think, when the Giants cut him last year to go to Minnesota and be under Kevin O'Connell for that rest of that season. Like Kevin O'Connell, former quarterback, understands how to coach quarterbacks, understands, and I think that experience probably helped him as much as anything.
Yeah,
going to the Colts and obviously, being able to win that starting job, but also again want to be mindful. If you watch the Colts again and watch, enough of them this season, it's Jonathan Taylor. He's been the key. He's been the guy that really kind of unlocked that offense. And it's not Saquon Barkley level, but it is a little like Daniel Jones playing with Saquon Barkley. Again, it's not all on him to win the game. He's got really great complementary pieces around him. We talk about Michael Pittman and Tyler Warren and some of those other guys. They're not asking him to go out and win the game. They're just asking him to do his job, and he's doing it really well right now. So let's see as they get into, some tougher matchups, how well they're able to keep this going. I'm just reminding people, you see what I have on Saints stuff. Last year, the Saints started 2-0 and looked dominant coming out of the season. And then
what happened the rest of that season?
It did not end well, So I'm just saying, let's, before we crown them, let's see.
Real take overreaction. 3-0, contenders or pretenders, the 49ers.
I'm gonna say
don't do it, Sean. Don't do it. Come on now. We ain't gotta lie. Pretenders. No. Pretenders. Pretenders. We not even gonna waste time. Pretenders. They are not legit.
I'm gonna say again, they've been able to pull out a couple close games, obviously up in Seattle and then yesterday against Arizona. That division's tough. And again, they've won 2 divisional games so far. Got to give them credit. Still got 4 more to go just in the division. I think the division is very tough. I'm not calling them a contender because the division is way too tough. Any one of those teams right now can win that division, and it wouldn't surprise me just based on how they're playing right now. But obviously, a lot of season left. Let's see. But I'm not calling them a contender because of the division.
No, I wouldn't call them a contender. And I agree with you because of the division. But also, if they was to make it, I think every team in this division getting their head pushed in the first round. No matter who they play. 49ers, Rams, because for obvious reasons, I said early in the show, they did all that talking about, the Eagles, we had them beat. And I fell for the trap believing them. I texted Sean early, look at these Eagles, they look trash, blah, 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 talking crazy. The Rams was right. And what happened? Choke job. The Rams going to get their head pushed in. The Cardinals going to get their head pushed in. The Seahawks going to get their head pushed in. This is NFC West, NFC pretenders. That's 100%. I don't agree with the 3-0. They are pretenders. They are overreaction. They got injury problems all around the board. The quarterback is even injured. And that's the main component of why they are pretenders. And that's why I'm like, we only got to waste time with them, Sean. the 49ers and every other team in NFC West included. So sorry if you guys are watching, if you're a Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, or 49ers fan. Y'all are not legit. This is not y'all year. And I'm being honest. Now, real take a overreaction. The Los Angeles Chargers, contenders or pretenders, Sean? I'm gonna sit back, and this is gonna be the first time, Sean. I'm gonna take my bias aside when I answer my side. I'm gonna take my bias aside. I'll be 100% honest. Contenders or pretenders, Sean? Honestly,
I'm gonna say contender.
you're gonna sound like you're gonna say, but
We've seen the Chargers do this before.
what we do before, Sean? I need to see what we
dominate during the regular season, play really well during the regular season, and then get to the playoffs and poop the bed. So for me, I'm not judging this Chargers team on the regular season. Obviously, they got to get into the dance, and you do that by winning games in the regular season.
We get into the dance.
The problem is when you get to the dance, you end up looking like Elaine from Seinfeld dancing, and it's terrible. It's awful. It's just bad. So, I'm just saying, it's yeah.
Okay. Real take overreaction. Is my Charger contenders 100%? 100%. No biases aside. I'm saving my biases for one segment for what we got here, and that's what I'm here. But I'm talking serious football. I think the defense is outstanding. I think the coaching, the scheming, the play calling has been great. Justin Herbert has been playing out of his mind against this Broncos defense, who made it tough for him this last game. He answered the call, Sean. We was down going to the fourth. I think Justin Herbert went 12 for 15 in the fourth and had 2 game-winning drives. One for a touchdown that was, and I'm not even gassing it right now. I'm going to gas it when we go to the next segment. The pass he made to Keenan Allen to tie the game up, to understand what's going in the pocket, get into the pocket, walk in, step in to make a pass around. Sean, Justin Herbert made a pass around the defender's arm to throw it on the money while Pat Surtain was guarding Keenan Allen. I was like, yeah, this kid might be the truth. But also, I trust the coaching. I trust the defense. I think we are 100% contenders. And also, this 3-0 is not a fraudulent 3-0. We beat the Chiefs. We beat the Raiders. And we beat the Broncos. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders is trash. Is always F the Raiders. Is always going to be F the Raiders. So I'm not going to say nothing nice about them. The Broncos is one of the best defenses in the league. If not, potentially the best defense in the league. Oh, wait a minute, Shaq. SB. You notice something that's familiar about all these teams? They all in their division. They just went 3-0 in divisional games. And having a lead on your division hits a lot different than 3-0. They are 3-0 against their division right now. That's what makes them contenders, if more than anything. And I think the Chargers are just as good to compete against any team in the AFC, especially because, I don't know if God answered my prayer, Sean. I'm looking up when I'm saying this. Our wide receivers are catching the ball now. Quentin Johnson looks like a wide receiver and not a blocking wide receiver no more. He has hands, Sean. I was like, I see these on his hand. I didn't know they worked. They worked, Sean. And then Keenan Allen found the fountain of youth. Maybe the Bears were just trash. He come back look good with the last good. So 100% real take. The Chargers are good. Now, Sean, before we get into, we got one more second. We got to hurry get through because we do got the Ravens and Baltimore, Ravens and Lions game on our Ravens in Baltimore. But I got a choke, a choke segment, Sean. I didn't tell you this in pre because I want your natural reaction. Real take or overreaction for who choked? Real take or overreaction by saying the Arizona Cardinals choked. against the 49ers.
Real take.
Why?
I mean, you go down, they were down 13-6. They go down, they score a touchdown, tie the game, and then they get a safety. They're up 2 points. They get the ball back, and they're not able to, milk the clock enough to essentially, win the game. It's an absolute choke job. And they gave up a huge screen pass to Christian McCaffrey that basically set up the Niners in field goal position to win the game as the buzzer sounded. So it was an absolute choke job. Now, again, it's one game. You got to flush it. You got to get ready for Thursday Night Football with a very important game because it's in division. Seattle coming to Arizona on Thursday Night Football. But it's a choke, but you got to let it go. It's one game. You got to let it go.
Right. Real take of real reaction. Did the Green Bay Packers choke the game away against the Browns?
I don't want to say they choked the game away. I think that Browns defense is really good. And the Browns were able to ugly the game up enough to give themselves a chance to win the game. But obviously, when you have, a blocked field goal late in the game, if you're Green Bay, it was blocked. And, the Browns were able to run the football really well. Quinshon Judkins, show why he was, so bad.
He looked good.
He looked good. So, but I think they were able to just ugly the game up enough. And that defense was able to ugly the game up enough for the Packers that they stayed in the game. So I'm not going to call it a choke. Obviously, spread says otherwise, but, sometimes you lose games that you think you're going to win. That's the NFL, and that's what happened. Now they're 2-1. They go to Dallas Sunday Night Football. It's a good get-right game for your offense if you're Green Bay. So, flush it and move on.
It's got two more, Sean. Two more. Real take or overreaction. Did the Houston Texans choke? And is it time to hit the panic button for the Houston Texans?
I'll answer the second question first. Yes. The Texans essentially traded out their entire offensive line.
Yes.
No Joe Mixon. They're asking a lot from CJ Stroud, who does not look comfortable, who looks like he does not look like rookie CJ Stroud. You got rid of the offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick, from the first 2 years because you didn't like where the offense is going. There should be some concern in Houston. The defense, just for reference, has given up 51 points total this season, meaning they're giving up 17 points a game, and they haven't won a game. They've only allowed one 20-point game, and that was a 20-point game on Monday Night Football last week against the Buccaneers. So if I'm Houston, I got some major concerns. Now, you got Tennessee coming in to town this weekend. There's a good chance to get to 1-3, and there's only been one 0-3 team to make the playoffs in league history. You know what team that was?
The Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans. So not all is lost, but certainly they got a chance to get right. But they got to get that offense right. And again, to me, it starts up front. They got to get that offensive line right.
I'm trying my best to like still stay on that. The Houston Texas trade. I don't 100% blame CJ Stroud, but I do agree that he do look uncomfortable. I feel like he's not protected enough. The offense doesn't look good, but also, Sean, the defense doesn't look good. It looks bad all around. If this is my last week. I'm not gonna hit the panic button, but if they don't look elite against the Titans, we're gonna have to come back to this conversation. I'm gonna wait. Last one, Sean. This is the team that you have been very high on, and you should know where I'm going with this one. Because to put a bagel up against this team is egregious. To not touch your 30-yard line on the whole game is egregious. Real take or overreactions. A 30-0 blowout. Carolina Panthers to the Atlanta Falcons. Did the Atlanta Falcons choke this game away?
The Atlanta Falcons absolutely looked terrible yesterday. It was a Murphy's Law game. What could go wrong? offensively. I think the defense actually played a pretty decent game, but they were given short fields. Obviously, the Falcons had a pick six return for a touchdown. They had a fumble, running back fumble. They were just it was really bad, so bad that they fired their wide receivers coach today.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah, they fired their wide receivers coach. So again, I think it was a terrible game, a game that they probably expected to win, coming off of a big win in Minnesota last Sunday night. It was a massive, and I know the natural nature of people is to pile on and say, "Oh, Michael Penix and stinks," and that's why they put Kirk Cousins in the game. Michael Penix, that was his sixth start in the NFL yesterday. His sixth start in the NFL. That is the first bad game he has played in the NFL. He's played really good football up until yesterday. It happens. Now, again, can they get the issues figured out and fixed? That remains to be seen. But yesterday was just it was a Murphy's Law game yesterday. It was, and again, give Carolina credit. Carolina came out. They did a good job trying to run the football, establishing the run, not asking Bryce Young to go out and win the game. They didn't play out of a hole, and their defense played really, really well. Obviously, when you have a shutout, your defense did something right. And the turnovers they forced, they did something right. So give credit to Carolina as well. But I don't think all was lost in Atlanta. I just think it was a Murphy's Law game for them.
they look terrible. They look terrible, Sean. It's more on offense. And I'm gonna treat Michael Penix as like it's his rookie season. Because technically it is his rookie season. Like you said, sixth start. But they didn't look good. They didn't look good. For Carolina, which I appreciate watching Carolina. It's fun to watch this young team because it's just everybody is happy praise with Carolina. But to get whooped 30-0, to not touch the 30-yard line is bad. They choked. It's different, just like, hey, we lost to the Carolina Panthers in a close one and a field goal. But to get 30 old, something got to change. Drake London has to get better. Cal Pitts has to get better. Michael Penix has to get better. And if your passing game not working, Sean, you have a dude. Oh my God, man, you have so much great skill set. You look like a baby Saquon Barkley. Give Bijan Robinson the ball. Force feed Bijan Robinson the ball. Oh, force Bijan at this point. If the offense not going, force Bijan Robinson the ball. Run the ball. 3 down straight. If it's looking that bad offensively. Okay, it's 3rd and 8. We ran the ball 2 more times. Give Bijan Robinson the ball. That's it. And I guarantee you, if Bijan get going, Michael Penix and the offense look much better.
I think that's really their game plan. They want to be a team that establishes the run, but when you get down, it's hard to run the football in that way. Also, Tyler Algier only getting 1 carry yesterday that's not the Falcons. Tyler Algier is usually a big part of their running game. So I think the issue was they got down and they felt like they needed to throw and to pass the football, and became not completely one-dimensional, but almost one-dimensional. That was a massive part of it. So, by the way, Jahmyr Gibbs scored a 1-yard touchdown. Lions up 7-0 early in the first quarter.
Okay, all right, we got one more to be get into. We're gonna get about it because the game on. It was like everybody going too crazy in the chat today, so we'll save the callers for maybe next week. All right, Sean, let me get up for this one. Real take or overreaction. Justin Herbert is the best right now, the best quarterback in the NFL. Playing like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Overreaction.
Come on, Sean. We ain't doing that. Now, saying he's just the best quarterback, like blank, overreaction. But playing like the best quarterback, he's definitely the best playing right now. Is the best. What quarterback playing better than him right now, Sean?
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
No, we're not doing that.
No, Lamar Jackson. We're not doing. No, what we're not going to do is not talk about these other quarterbacks who are playing well. Justin Herbert's playing good football.
Excellent football.
But so is Jalen Hurts. So is Lamar. So is Lamar. So is Josh Allen.
Jalen Hurts had 1 good game.
We're not doing that.
Like
Jalen Hurts had 3 good games.
Jalen Hurts had 1 good game, and it was yesterday.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Look at the stats.
No, it's not about the stats. It's about doing what you got to do to win.
If I can push, when I can't throw the ball, but
clearly he can throw the ball. He outplayed Pat Stafford yesterday.
That's cool. Take away yesterday's game. How many passing touchdowns did Jalen Hurts have? Into the get week 3.
What is it about? Isn't
the question, how many did he have?
He didn't have any, but isn't the objective to win the game?
That's right. We 3-0-2. We 3-0-2.
Exactly. And again, and all of it isn't because Justin Herbert. Because you know what Justin Herbert has that Jalen Hurts doesn't have? Interceptions.
What? I mean, he barely don't. I mean, barely.
Yeah. So
Josh Allen had a bad game against the Jets. I'm just going through everyone.
Josh Allen. But again, the game plan. Every week the game plan is going to be different. It's not going to be our quarterback has to go out and throw for 350 every week for us to win. Some weeks it's going to be, hey, we're playing against a team that's weak against the run. We can run the football against this team, and that's what we're going to do. That is the nature of it. Like it's not going to be just about the stats. As be like we can't just put it purely on the stats. Ultimately, did your quarterback do what you needed to do to win the football game? And yes. if we're being honest, is Justin Herbert playing better than Baker Mayfield?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Right. What are we talking about? No, yes.
I'm saying it's not a definite. I'm saying Justin Herbert's having a really good season, but there are other quarterbacks who are having really good seasons too.
If the season was to start with Lamar, don't count because Lamar playing too. We gotta wait to see what Lamar does today. Lamar is the only one that I'm gonna give a pass to. Justin Herbert did not have a bad game yet. And the one interception he just threw that last game against one of the best defenses in football. And then he carved them up in the fourth quarter with 12-15 and led 2 touchdown drives.
Right.
One for a touchdown and one for the win.
Right.
The season was in right now. Justin Herbert is the MVP.
Did you see Jalen Hurts? No, he's not the MVP. That's not an absolute. That's not an absolute.
He's absolutely the MVP.
That is not the absolute. Let's not do that. That's not an absolute. He's playing good football. But it's
saying good football is disrespectful, Sean.
No, it's not. He's playing good football, but we've seen Justin Herbert play like this before. We've seen him play like this before. Like, let's not act like he had 3 interceptions last season. Let's be like, what are we doing? He played good football last season. He's played good football before. The issue with Justin Herbert is not the regular season. The issue with Justin Herbert and the Chargers is when they get to the playoffs, they find a way to poop the bed.
That ain't gonna happen this year. It's a different charge.
Well, I mean, ain't as relative. We'll see. We'll see. I know where it is. I know where towards the end. I don't want to,
but I'm just saying, my QB is the best QB in the league right now, and Jalen Hurts is on fraud watch until that second half.
He wasn't on fraud watch.
He was on fraud watch, Sean. We're not doing that. He was on fraud watch.
There was no fraud watch. The man was the reigning Super Bowl MVP. What are we talking about fraud watch?
He didn't have a touchdown in 2 games.
It's not about that. His numbers are always going to be total yards, total touchdown. That's what it's always going to be about. And again, at the end of the day, they've played 2 really good teams. The Cowboys.
We played 3 good teams.
Yeah, played 2 good teams. The Raiders are.
I'm down. I'm down with that. I'm down with the Raiders slant always, but we ain't gonna talk about like they ain't trash.
They're not trash, but I mean, again,
and we the best division in the AFC. We swept the best division AFC is AFC West.
I think that's fairly accurate. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say now if the Bengals and the Browns look the good they supposed to look, then we can have a different conversation.
Yeah, no, I'll see away from that. Again, y'all are 3-0. Y'all 3-0 in the division. Mm-hmm. It's a great start. But again, we're not judging the Chargers on the regular season. We're judging them. If you make the playoffs, what are you going to do when you get in the dance? And again, the last 2 times they've been in the playoffs, they look like Elaine from Seinfeld dancing. That's all I'm saying.
That's fact. I can agree with that part, but let's talk about let's just take from what we have seen. The 3 games we have seen.
Not
Justin Herbert been playing as the best quarterback in the league.
It's not a definitive SB. There's been other quarterbacks who played very well. I just named them.
I don't think I have to highly disagree.
I just named them. All of it. It's not going to be, and every game is not going to be oh, Justin Herbert's got to go out and play ball out for them to win. Some games have been the defense has played really, really well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is. They're playing very good. The team is playing very good complementary football, and Justin Herbert playing very good football. But I don't think it's definitive that he's playing as the best quarterback in the league. There's other quarterbacks who are playing at a high level as well, but their teams are playing at a high level.
Only for me, I don't think nobody playing better right now. But right, if I had to play devil's,
yes, of course, you know the boat brain. The boat brain is you have to do that. I mean,
you trying to say I'm charged up? I'm charged up.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
all I'm saying is, if I had to play devil's advocate and not be biased, and I'm not even really being biased, I'm just talking. Only quarterbacks that I think is in the conversation with Justin Herbert right now today is Lamar Jackson with an action because it's 2 games. Now, if Lamar Jackson played good today, is Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. But literally, legitimately, Justin Herbert is the best right now. He has been playing the best. And for you to walk down one of the best defenses in the league for a game-winning touchdown and a game-winning field goal, a lot of people can't say that. Baker Mayfield, while I'm arguing against him, he played the Falcons, who just got lost 30-0 to the Panthers. He played the Texans, who don't look the same, and then the Jets, who are trash. Compare the resume. And then you look at Lamar Jackson, it's solid. But we got to wait to see what he do.
Yeah, Derrick Henry just scored a 28-yard touchdown tie game, or about to be a tie game.
Speaking of tie game, because we got to hurry up and go through this. We got to hurry up and get about Lions versus Ravens preview. I got the Lions. You got the Ravens. 7-7. It's for the picks of the week. Do you got a quick preview or anything you want to say? Because the game is kind of starting right now. I know we got to get about it because I know people watching the game.
No, should be an entertaining game. We talked about it during our picks of the week, so it should be an entertaining game. Looking forward to it. Obviously, I picked the Ravens. You picked the Lions, so we'll see how it plays out. I know we don't have this story on deck SB, but we got to shout out Asia Wilson, by the way, 4-time MVP in the WNBA. Shout out Asia Wilson, Bamasia. If you don't know, now you know Bamasia. You know, and you know, so yeah.
Hey, two things, Sean. I just want to say, one, you know, I got my WNBA women's GOAT is Candace Parker. Yours is Lisa Leslie, right? If I be right? It's Lisa, right?
No, I don't have a WNBA GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say this. It's 2 things Asia Wilson is doing, and there's nothing we can do about it. One, she's on pace right now to be the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And there's nothing we can do about it. And I don't see – I know you didn't even look, but I'm saying I don't see her slowing down for the next 5 years. There's only one thing that's going to slow her down, Sean. And you want to tell you what it is, Sean? Who presented her trophy?
Bam Adebayo.
That's the only thing that's going to stop her. And you know what else the crazy thing that's about that's what's going to stop her? And that's my number 2 thing that we can't stop. Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson is going to create the most dominant species on the planet when it comes to playing basketball. And don't roll your ass, Shaq, because I know you like Shaq. I know you like SBU stupid. But you know I'm telling the truth. When they decide to have a kid, boy or girl, that's going to be the most dominant sports athlete of all time. You talking about 2 players who are tall in height and versatile. Bam can play 1 through 5. Asia can play 1 through 5. Do you not understand what type of I know it's wrong for me. I know people say, like, look at kids like that. I'm trying to tell you that's going to be the most dominant sports player on the planet. It's going to be an Adebayo because her name is, she ain't going to be Asia Wilson, but she's going to be Asia Adebayo soon. She's going to be AA soon. It's going to change.
No, I mean, she might hyphenate, but
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be the most dominant species on the planet, and it's going to destroy us all. It's going to happen. It could be Asia Wilson Jr. or Bam Bam Jr. It's going to be ugly. That's all I'm going to say, because by the time it happened, they older, they going to be almost ready to retire. So they're going to have time to spend with their kid to make them dominant. I'm telling you, little Bam Bam and little AJ is going to be crazy. Ain't gonna get the hype, because if it's I feel like it'll be harder if it's a girl. But if they have a son, he gonna be that deal. If they have a girl and she plays sports, it's like she gonna be like Bronny trying to chase LeBron, because Asia's LeBron of this generation.
Yeah. No, I mean, first of all, this is a real life loving basketball, first of all.
It
So
is.
yes, but also the guy can actually
Look,
play because the
look,
guy
Bam
could not
Bam.
play. The guy could not play in loving basketball. It was ugly. I hate to watch it.
No,
But anyway,
Bam, nice. But
yeah, no.
I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
you, Sean, it's nothing we can do about it. The most dominant basketball player is it's not even created yet. And when it do happen, holy, like I said, it ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? We done see couples who couldn't hoop. Both of them can hoop, and both of them are versatile. And I'm seeing Bam is what, 6'10, 6'11?
6'9", 6'10".
You know, you go gas a little bit with shoes on, 6'11. Asia about what, 6'4, 6'5.
6'3",
So
6'4", yeah.
so little Bam gonna get at least about 6'7.
You think. I mean, you think, but
And
but again, I'm not projecting
we'll
on
see.
them. I'm not
But
projecting on them. First of all, this is about Asia. She is on a run
shout out
right
to
now that is unprecedented, obviously. And the fact that she is a 4-time MVP before the age of 30, not many people have done that in professional sports. So she's on a run right now. It is an amazing thing to watch. We'll see.
also, Sean, we ain't talking about the fact that she has carried a brand new franchise in the league. And the Las Vegas Aces might be one of the most popular teams in the league. To carry an extension franchise to make them relevant, we got to talk about that.
Well, remember, they're not an expansion franchise. They were a team. They were the Utah Stars. They moved to San Antonio, and then became the Silver Stars, and then the Stars, and then they moved to Vegas. So they just a relocated team. So it's not technically a brand new franchise. But
technically, no, but reality, yeah. Because I think if the San Antonio Stars come back, they're gonna get their history back.
Yeah.
And then let's be real, what's the Aces out of every location they had, the Aces been more prestige than anywhere else.
Right.
To be realistically speaking.
Right.
But let's get to our picks of the week and let's get up out of here real quick, Sean. So
SB and Sean NFL picks of the week.
SB and Sean NFL picks of the week. Right now, we are tied 1-1. I'm sorry I cut off the picks of the week last week. I got y'all this week. But Sean, we are 1-1 picks a week. How do we pick this week? And does tonight game matter?
Yes. Green Bay at Cleveland. We both took Green Bay. Green Bay lost. Indianapolis at Tennessee. We both took the Colts. Colts won. Cincinnati at Minnesota. We both took Minnesota. Minnesota won. Pittsburgh at New England. We both took Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won. Mm-hmm. Rams at Philadelphia. We both took Philly. Eagles won. Mm-hmm. Jets at Tampa. We both took Tampa. Tampa won. Mm-hmm. Vegas at Washington. We both took the Raiders. They lost. Atlanta at Carolina. We both took the Falcons. Falcons did not win. Houston at Jacksonville. We both took Houston. Houston did not win. Mm-hmm. Denver at the Chargers. We both took the Chargers. Chargers did win. Saints at the Seahawks. We both took the Seahawks. Seahawks won convincingly. Cowboys at the Bears. We both took the Bears. The Bears did win. Arizona at San Francisco. You took San Fran. I took Arizona. San Fran did win. Mm-hmm. Kansas City at the Giants. We both took the Chiefs. The Chiefs did win. Mm-hmm. Detroit at Baltimore is tonight. You took Detroit. I took Baltimore. So tonight's game does count. If Baltimore wins, we are tied. If Detroit wins, you win week 3.
Oh man, I gotta make sure we go 3. Pick 3. Get 2-2.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a tie. Yeah. A tie is a tie is a tie.
Tie, yeah. But thank you guys for watching the great episode of Real Takes on Faith Debates. Me and Sean are going to go watch tonight's football game. And also, I got to go walk my dog because he just did something he wasn't supposed to do, Sean. But we go worry about this another day.
One last question in the chat. SB said.
Ooh, okay. Johnny asks, what do you guys think the Texas record will be? We can answer this last question before we get out. I'm going to say positive 1, but let's look at the schedule. Okay, Sean, I want to do a quick rundown schedule before you answer. Okay, after this Jaguars game, they got Titans, Ravens, Seahawks, 49ers, Broncos, Jaguars, Titans, Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Colts. What you got their record to be?
Ooh,
I still see a positive record for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say The Texans go 10-7.
That's a realistic aspect to see them go 10-7. I also have them around that range, 10-7 or 11-6. I think they will go on a run later on, like they do. I think the Colts will fall off. Only way they're going to make the playoffs is through divisional play. It's going to be winning the division, because I do think the Jaguars is not going to be as good, and I also think the Colts are going to fall off at some point. But the Colts still play the way they planned, and they're cooked. They're going to really establish themselves. Where's the week against the Colts? Oh, say November 30th. That's the first time they play the Colts. November 30th, that's a while from now. That's when they really got to establish themselves. And I do like how the NFL got the schedule set. Those two games are going to matter at that point in time. But I do think the Texans will end the season positive. So, John, it seemed like you're a Texas fan. We got you. We think they're going to end the season positive. He said, okay, thank God. No problem. But we are out of here. It's been SB. It's been Sean Webb. And we will see you guys on the next one. See you guys on Monday. Also, see you guys on Saturday. Look on RTOFD every Saturday morning. We drop the picks of the week. Check us out. Peace out. We out.
Real takes over fake debates.